Okay, good evening. It's been reported by the Guardian that President, Buhari, has been rushed to a clinic there in London, UK. They said he's been managing his health and he's been complaining for some time, but he had to be rushed because the condition was getting worse. And this has gotten a lot of people's attention as regards this. We've seen the Igbos, we've seen the dental data come out, and somewhere there was misreaction as regards this. Some were happy, and why some were claiming that this is the fake Buhari, that the real Buhari is dead. What's your take as regards?
Yeah, whatever it is, the UK mail that first broke the news that Buhari was dead, it was not really Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. People does not understand that, but it was a UK media platform that actually broke the news that Buhari was dead. That was around 2017 or thereabout, years, if I can remember, where he disappeared from the space, and after emerging as the president, but Buhari first took ill around April or 2016 or 2015, if I can remember, and we've seen that his health deteriorated to the extent that in around 2017 he disappeared from the surface of the earth and went to an unknown location for where he spent days, and there was this speculation, because nobody could reach him, the media couldn't reach him, Nigerians couldn't reach him, and that what triggered the news then that he was actually a clone dead man, and they not in their usual stuff, just like what we saw during Jonathan and Yanadua, we saw very clearly that the manipulation that took place when even why Yanadua was confirmed to have been dead, the media, the Northerners keep on, covering that aspect of it until when he was brought back to Nigeria, even to an extent, they took light, just, so similar thing happened to Buhari, and we have not been able to get to that level of really unveiling whether the Jubril we saw or the real Buhari, but that has been kept in secret. For the man to come out and said, severally that, that he the kind of medical attention and equipment and other things he saw or he went through, or some of, raised that speculations that the Northerners the might have been into something very secretive that they has kept a secret by themselves. So that was what triggered that, and he came and managed to stay 8 years in office at on May 29, 2023. He left office anyway, and since that time he left office around April, he was also flown out again. So I remember when Shetima and the rest of them led a visit to him, and they were able to move him from Daura, to Kaduna. Suspiciously, Nigerians start having that suspicion that something must be ongoing. And since that time, Buhari has not been spotted anywhere in the public, and the triggering speculations that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, might have a detailed information, about the identity and the personality of a man, who appeared from the horizon and took over the mantle of, leadership for over 8 years, So the UK Mail that broke that story, has not been giving the public, a more investigative, story or news about the whereabouts of Muhammad Buhari, whether it was late or they not decided to play a game against Nigerians that is best known to them. But unfortunately, according to Gaba Shehu, who is also Buhari's media aide, there's a lot of things, that we are hearing now. It's possible that Buhari might not might be late. God forbid. We are just saying that, it's possible because from the what we are hearing from the undisclosed hospital where he was being seen last, smuggled within that space, within that area. He is not something funny. We pray that it is not what it is, but whatever it is, and that is Buhari for you, an arch enemy of the Igbo people, an arch enemy of anything that has to do with Biafra, an arch enemy, and the brain behind the extremism, the Islamic agenda, and the Fulanization of Nigeria. I remember years ago, Buhari can never be associated with anything that has to do with the goodness of any Igbo man, any time, any day, because the guy is clearly, purely an anti-Igbo. And these are the people that are suspecting, as being reported in different quarters, that he might have been the brain behind the recent, unleash of the Fulani herdsmen, bandits, killer squad, sects, extremism, name them, jihadist agenda and all that. Because this is a man, who has made several statements, threatening anybody who want to rise against the Islamization of Nigeria and the Fulanization of Nigeria. So this is everywhere. We need to know whether Buhari is still alive and whether he is late.
Okay, but a lot of people have a lot of Igbos currently on social media are saying that what this was the same man that declared IPOB as a terrorist group, and at the same time he said what he said, he will talk to the IPOB and the Igbos in a way they will understand. That was when Nnamdi Kanu created ESN and vowed to protect the Igbos. And but a lot of people have said even the same Buhari, up till now we don't know where the wife is. We are not hearing from the children, that they are still insisting that it's fake Buhari, and at the same time they feel that what is happening to him is well deserved as regards him kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya.
And you can see that atrocity, maybe because of the recent revelation about what happened in Kenya. His health, deteriorated because yes, the shock, so the whole thing is very clear. He was, of course, like I said before, something else when it comes to anything that has to do with Igbo. But thank God that he met his mate in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have, actually taught him a very big lesson. He never succeeded. The only thing is that these are the people who use the likes of Hope Uzodinma and the rest of them, to infiltrate the eastern part of the country and begin to cause serious havoc by deploying the so-called repentant Boko Haram in the Nigerian army, deploying them entirely to the eastern part of the country. He added to the issue of insecurity and liars with some governors, created the Ibuago. The Ibuago were busy killing the Igbo people. I remember he said, the Igbos are a dot nation. He was making some kind of mockery statement about the people whom he later came to acknowledge they are a force to reckon with. So Buhari, for me, is no good area for any Igbo man, and I can tell you very clearly that that man you are seeing there, that was taught a big lesson by Nnamdi Kanu, will never regret. The international community and the ICC has already mapped out plan to get him to explain his role, how he got involved in the issue of rendition, illegal rendition, and kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I think it became worse. His health became worse after hearing the victory of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court case. So for now, we are still watching the development from the news we are getting. Buhari might not be able, to face ICC this time around, because it is not going to find it funny. Imagine Buhari spending the rest of his life in ICC custody, being locked up somewhere for violating the Commonwealth Treaty and for compromising the Kenyan government. It's a criminal act, and coupled with a lot of things that has been attached to his government. Massive corruption, looting, the killing of the Igbos, and those how he liaised with Wike and the rest of them, Odzo Carlo, these are the people he actually used to destabilize the eastern part of the country
The
and create
previous year
pure
has
insecurity,
witnessed plenty
allowing
varied
the
developments.
current
Some of the
security
most
threats we are
significant
seeing now in
events
terms of
include
the
Iran nuclear
jihadists
deal,
in the eastern part
the
of the
Paris
country
climate
battling
change
to
agreement,
see how they are going to
and of grave
infiltrate the political
concern,
space
the North
and, of
Korean
course, take over
nuclear crisis.
the
The
indigenous
President,
communities of
I
the
must
eastern
also commend
part of the
the
country,
United Nations'
which
role
is referred
in
mostly
helping to
as
settle
Biafrans.
thousands
Okay,
of
but one thing you
innocent
mentioned, he said,
civilians
Buhari might
both
not be
in the
able to survive
conflicts
the
in
onslaught,
Syria,
from the ICC. But
Iraq,
we've heard the
and
United
Afghanistan.
Nation and the US, come out
In
to,
particular,
finger,
we must
Buhari
congratulate the
as the
government
pioneer,
of the
uh,
Federal
as the
Republic
person
of
that created this
Germany
security. That is, he partnered with
under
Umahi
the
and
compatible leadership
Uzodima
of
to create a
Chancellor
Bugagu,
Angela Merkel
who were,
and the government of Italy
fingered as people that were killing
agreed
people in the
to
southeast. Do you
undertake
think this is one
to
of
assist
the
her
main issue why,
thousands
Buhari knows
of
that,
refugees
he might be taken to world court? That's why he's kind
in
of
an
perturbed and
effort
scared as
to
regards this.
ensure
He's a very
that
cunning man.
the
There is a
international
very
community
somebody that is
came together
that has, when you look at
as it
him very
were
well,
only
these are these
to
patrons and the
assist the
pioneers of
countries
jihadists
and
in this part
communities
of the
in the
world,
Sahel
and he has
and the
never
Lake Chad regions to contain the threat
put
posed
anybody
by Al Qaeda and Boko Haram.
on his activities,
We
because I
thank
remember some
the
time ago
Security
when there was
Council
this issue of
for visiting the
negotiation,
countries
and Boko
of
Haram,
the
we are
Lake
calling
Chad
him,
Basin
they were saying
to
he's
assess
their
the
life patron
security
and this and
situation
that. And these are
and
the
the
people who went as
humanitarian
far as
needs
signing
and for rendering
a
assistance
document
to
that
rebuild lives
the
and
Fulanese
livelihoods.
should be allowed
We
to settle
in
finally
Nigeria,
in Nigeria,
we are
from all over
providing
the world.
relief
That is what
and
is
humanitarian
happening now.
assistance
But
to
let
millions
me just
in
say it very
internally
clearly. All those people that were
displaced
involved in that
and
agenda,
those afflicted
with Buhari
by
supervising
terrorism,
the killing
drought,
and the infiltration in
floods,
the Biafran land,
and
they have all
other
failed.
natural
Nobody can
disasters.
survive, that, can never survive it. And
In the
watching
last
that all
year,
his plan,
the
trying to kidnap
international
Mazi Nnamdi
community
Kanu,
came
try to,
together
attack Simon Ekpa
focused
in
on the
Finland,
need
all these
for
things we are
gender
seeing
equality,
today is a joint
youth
effort from
empowerment,
Iran,
social
and
inclusion,
other Arab
the
world who
promotion
are
of
bent on
education,
making sure that they fulfill the
creativity,
agreement
and
of making
innovation,
sure Nigeria
the
become an
frontiers
indigenous
for
land
good
of the
governance,
Fulanese. So
democracy,
the obstacle
including
Mazi
both
Nnamdi
free,
Kanu created is why the thing
including
has not been
holding
able,
free and fair
to be
elections
rooted
and the enthronement of the
in
rule of
Nigeria till
law.
this moment. And that is what it is. And we continue to watch as things begin to unfold. But I can tell you that it's likely Buhari might not survive a direct attack or release or arrest of ICC. I think that was what. So I think he's saying that it's better he died, than to face ICC over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Christian. Simon Ekpa get people that are lobbying for Biafra, and it is a plus. The way Simon Ekpa is going international, and it seems he's making this agitation a serious international issue by employing international lobbyists to make sure that Biafra is recognized at the world stage. Let's get a reaction. Now, thank you for that wonderful question, the anchor of this great platform. First and foremost, I want to say Simon Ekpa has come out to say, or has outlined countless times, that he said that the Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gold for the second time. Now when he said that, see, Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gold, it means that nobody needs to die for them to exit Nigeria. Now, Ojukwu fought Biafra in a different dimension. Now, Mazi Kanu did it via his own dimension. So Ekpa is taking it globally. And now we've seen world body recognize Biafra. We've seen the UN and then some other global body have come out to endorse the Biafra struggle. So kudos to him, it is a plus. Some persons have come out to say
some persons have come out to say that Samonepa should be discredited, the likes of Ohanes Endigbo and that of the southeastern governors. But my question is that you said Samonepa should not be taken serious. Then who should be taken serious? The government who is not willing to protect our people? Is it the people who have refused to speak up when the Igbo man has been marginalized in the country? Is it the same governors who have become a tools in the hands of their Fulani master? So for you to even have a character like Samonepa and Nnamdi Kanu to have come out to say enough is enough, that we are tired of this contraption called one Nigerians. It shows that these people have this mindset that see they can no longer be the slave. So for him to have even gone as far as to hire lobbyists that will speak on behalf of Biafra in the world in the UN summit, to me it's a plus, and that alone the voice of Biafrans will be heard globally, and the voice of an Igbo man is also being heard globally. Now let me take it back the line. When Southern Sudan and South Sudan wanted parted ways, nobody killed each other. Nobody go through the route of violence. It was done amicably. So Samonepa is doing it amicably for him to convince world leaders that this thing is possible, and why the government of the day, the present government of Nigeria, are not seeing it that way. Thank you. You can also
to the government, to the Nigerian government be worried about this.
Why would they be worried? The same people have sent assassins to kill Samonepa. Now only he has escaped. So see, one thing about it is that the government of the day, they are panicking. There's panic. You know what it is now? So a particular tribe, a major tribe, to exit your country. You know how an Igbo man is. You know the investment of an Igbo man is in the country. Now imagine in Nigeria without an Igbo man. Let's just imagine that. I mean, dominance. That means the Hausa man would now dominate virtually every government parastatals in Nigeria. So now the reason why the Igbo man is still believe that's Nigeria is because the Igbo man is still in the contraption called Nigeria. But eventually, if the Igbo man leaves, my brother, the Yoruba man will know the true meaning of Nigeria, and then we now know who owns Nigeria. Just like what Angobula said, he said they are not scared of the Igbos parting, exiting Nigerians. That was what he said. He said they are not scared. Indirectly, that means the other tribe would not have sense of belonging in the country, and we know it. We know it. I know it too. And every man now has the spirit of dominance. You cannot dominate him. If Fulani man has the spirit of dominance, for you to dominate him, it will take ages. In terms of population, you cannot dominate them. So one thing is that Ojukwu have foreseen this whole thing. That was why he championed this Biafra struggle. And now, gradually, it is now becoming a reality in this contraction called Nigeria. Now, there are some Igbo men are even tired of the system called Nigeria, just because they feel their brother is still in president. Now, my brother, I can bet you, come 2027, the Yorubas will be championing the Republic more than the Igbo man. I can bet you that. That I'm very certain of. Yes, we will championing because it is certain when their president, when their brother is being kicked away from the presidency, already there is a plot, and which he himself cannot escape. The president himself knows that there is a plot and then the big shots in the north are forming alliance. You know it. RFI, a powerful influence in the north, is not in the league. Sorry, is not in good terms with the president. And now nobody can take that factor. What RFI did, or I said, I made President Tinubu emerge as the president via his own influence. And then we have also the likes of Ango Ambulai, which is the chairman of the Northern Order Forum. He said post that election that the Northern Order Forum supported Tinubu, but come 2027, Tinubu will not get their support. So what does that mean? Now if the average Northern person is not giving the vote, now where will they get the vote? It just come by 2027. The same thing the universe have tagged the votes for. Now they will be the master mind of it, because I can bet you by 2027 Yoruba will stop. And that's the slogan that will continue to trend, is that we are tired of the country, we want to follow the suit of the Igbo man and exit the country. And then the Igbo man now will not take them, tag them for being unserious, because now that the Igbo man is championing for the exit, we are saying the Igbo man is not serious. There are claims that the Igbo man is not serious, but I can bet you when the system will also catch up with you, then you will know why the Igbo man has been championing to exit. Thank you for always coming.